Hey guys, Chris Adams here, and I'm going to walk you through the Trout and Panfish Ultralight kits here at Mudhole. So stay tuned. All right, so starting with your Trout and Panfish rod build, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about blanks first. So in kind of the gamut of the ultralight game, we've got everything from a 5.5 footer up to an 8.5 footer. And what that encompasses is guys that want to fish, stream side, guys that want to do a little pond hopping, if you want to fish off a boat, and different techniques. So we kind of break that out into different sections on length. So for example, on those lengths, like with a 5.6, a 6 foot and a 6.6, that's going to be your tight quarters area. That's going to be great for your kayaks. That's going to be great for your hiking into backwater areas where there's small streams and small ponds, things like that. When you get around docks, anywhere that you're going to have a tight area to work with, that 5.6, 6 footer and 6.6 is the one I would go with. From there, the next size, we've got the 6.6 and the 7 footer. That's probably going to be your most all around. That's going to be the one that you're going to use off the dock on your pond behind the house. That's going to be the boat rod, something that's going to give you more casting distance when you're in open water. When you're around docks, when you're around like lily pads and some areas where those fish congregate, anywhere that you've got a little bit more room and you need to lengthen that cast out, the 6.6 and the 7 footer, those are the blanks for that. Now, going above 7 foot all the way up to that 8.6, that length is going to be a very, very specialized kind of a situation. If you really want to reach out and touch somebody with that 8.6, that's going to be the one, but you can also use that as more of like a dabbling rod when you're around lily pads and you're around docks that have a lot of cover and you want to reach out and put it right into a small area where you know that the fish are feeding behind matted vegetation or in and around lily pads without having to go in and make a cast or make a lot of noise and spook those fish. That's where those longer rods, 7 foot all the way up to the 8.6, that's where they really shine. And all of those rod lengths, we're going to have 1, 2, and 3-piece models. Most of the time in a lot of these ultralights, you're going to see a 2 and a 3-piece, and that's great when you're packing it in a kayak or you're hiking into some of those backwater areas or just carry it in your truck for those after work fishing days. Now we're going to select our guides. So what we've done is we're going to use those Crv Guide Kits. These are great because we've got all of your spacing on the back here. It's gonna, if you're gonna pick your 5.5 footer, your 6, 6.5 and stuff, we've got spacing on the back for that, and you're gonna be able to choose from, a standard Kona flight setup, which I'm gonna show you right here, is kind of that traditional, I wouldn't say old school, but as we were all growing up, that sloping transition from guide to guide all the way down, that shows itself a lot here in the ultralight rod families and on Panfish rods because they're fairly easy to build, they're easy to set up. As you progress and take that an extra step further, we do have a concept series which will actually, it helps a little bit with distance, it helps with a little bit of line twist, especially if you're using that 2 and 4 pound braid. You're going to get more distance, it's going to help with some of those twist issues, but you can still pass a leader knot if you want to use some braid down to some really, really light leader. So that concept that we call it is going to be a quicker transition down to the rod blank. So you're going to have 3 guides here that's going to step it down in that more rapid reduction, and then it's going to run it out to your size 5 runners here. For me, I really like that, but to each their own, right? We're going to talk about handles now. That is going to be something that you're going to be able to experiment with a little bit. So we have, obviously, in our multi-option rod kits and all of our Panfish kits, trout kits, we have full length, we have split grips, we've got different reel seats kind of sprinkled throughout, but also I'm going to show you a few of the standard option. Here you can never go wrong with the standard barrel seat by CRV and a full length cork grip. The great thing is we also have all those same options in the EVA for the people that like the EVA, and we have some colored sprinkled in there. So we've got a white reel seat, in the gloss black blank. You'll see that in our colored multi-option kits there for the ultralight guys. Then taking that a step further, you're going to notice obviously these are multi-piece, and we have some with an SK2 seat. So you'll see that Fuji SK2 seat. Now, this might look a little wild. One of the guys here built it in the shop. This is a very minimalist approach. What he did is he just left off the foregrip and the rear grip. kept this fighting butt here, and then now we've just got the SK2, that split seat in there, and that's that 661 blank, and this is a personal favorite of mine, and that is a great minimalist panfish approach right there. Wonderful on small streams for trout as well. So along that same line of that SK2, now what we've done is we've used the SK2 with the grips, and for those that want a little bit more of a custom look, you can just add in an insert here. This is just your carbon fiber insert. We've got them here. We'll put up a link. And so what that did is now instead of just showing the blank right here, we just added that carbon fiber insert. So that's really neat, and you can tie in some thread colors with that as well. So those are a couple options. You know, we've got the Mhx Wind Grips again with the barrel seat. That one's a hard one to pass up as well. And moving up into the little bit larger sizes, you know, if you do want to have that 7-footer, and maybe you've got a little bit larger hands and you want a fuller grip and a reel seat, you know, using that arrow seat here with the winds is a really nice touch. Still keeps it light, but it is a little bit more to hold on to. So those are some options here for the ultralight panfish and trout kits. If you guys have any questions, obviously, we'll be happy to answer them, but this will get you started, and if you're not fishing for panfish and trout with some of these ultralights, you're really missing out. So I would check them out.